Welcome to Our Heritage. Today we have a phenomenal pair of people to talk to us. Some friends of mine I have known for a couple of years. We're not going to do a number. Miss Sylvia Chambers and Mr. Brad Reiner. And today we're talking about jukebox.
Jukebox Saturday night.
Saturday night. Yeah.
So explain that first year to us.
Well,
You want to start?
you want me to start?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. And then you jump in if
Oh,
I
all
say
right.
something that's obviously wrong. But the first year was, of course, magic. But behind that magic
Yes.
was a lot of work.
Yeah, we had just finished the successful run of the musical Grease
Yes.
in 1988. It's really been that long ago. But John Adams and Linda Christian, and who else was in the group that went to Atlanta to see American Jukebox?
Well, I went, but I went later. The first ones to go were Linda and Jill.
And they came back and they said, we can do something like that in our community. Well, we decided we could, but wow, it seemed like it took us forever to get ready for that first show.
It
Maybe
really
4
was.
months of auditions and rehearsals, but then we opened the first night with about 77 people on stage.
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't, I mean, if you came and auditioned, we didn't want to turn you away. I mean, some of them did set design, some of them did costuming, some of them did jitterbug dancing, some danced, some of them tried to dance.
And there were a few singers.
There were a few singers.
The singers did.
It was a
what,
wonderful experience with all of us coming together as a community to put this show together. That first year we started talking about what can we do with it, and of course we were walking around in the old Martin Center at
Oh,
that
yes.
time.
Now
The
you were
one that
walking
had
in
the roaches about
the
that long.
alley too.
Yeah, all over everywhere.
Exactly.
And that was what we decided needed to be our project for the
Right,
show,
right.
was trying to help with the renovation of that facility. But, you know, we started with a weekend, and then it just kept
Kept
building
going.
and building. And I had never in my life seen the lines like we had outside the
Around
market.
the corners.
It was around the corner and around the block. People just got so excited about the show. It was wonderful to be a part of it.
It was. That's why we were saying it was magic, but there was a lot of hard work. I mean, all those rehearsals. We got sick in there because it was.
But you had a doctor nearby.
We did.
doctor that would treat us. Yeah. So that worked out really good. But the main thing on our cast, it was just from all walks of life.
Yes, it was. It definitely was that.
Everybody wanted to be a part of this
Yeah.
show, and that's why it kind of took on a life of its own, really. I mean, we were doing the 4 nights. We were
Yeah.
doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Saturday,
Sunday, or Thursday,
Two
Friday,
shows on
Sunday.
Saturday.
Two on Saturday. I went to
we did
both of them.
Sunday, yeah. Did you?
I did. I did.
right.
I had an in with a woman that was working on
Oh,
that.
yeah, okay. Good, because it was a sellout.
Yeah.
And, they were clamoring for tickets.
And then they
Yes.
said, let's do some more.
Yeah.
And well, okay, if the facility's available next weekend,
Yeah.
and it sold out before we ever got started.
I know. I
It
know.
just
Really did.
repeatedly sold out in Douglas. And then we
Peop-
packed our show and took it on the road.
On the road again.
Took it on the road. And that was fun. I mean, but after a while, you know, we said, we can't do it every Saturday night.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, we were going everywhere, but it was, people from out of town would come and see it.
Right.
And then they'd say, ooh, I'd like to bring that to our town.
Yeah.
And so we would go. And we didn't get paid.
No,
No, no.
No.
it was about 4 or 5 years before the cast ever started seeing any returns as far
I mean,
as
you
reimbursement.
You paid your own way,
We
your
did.
own travel, everything. Costumes and all. You did it all.
That was
Everything.
all part of it, and we loved every minute
We
of it.
loved
It was fun.
Absolutely.
And one of the first things I noticed when my sister was talking about the cast and all this, I said, my God, y'all are going to be sold out if everybody that's in it just seems 4 people. Because your cast was so large, once their family came, you filled up the theater.
Yeah. Now, at that time, we could not use the balcony.
That's
at
right,
Martin
that's
because
right.
It was in such disrepair.
No, it was
We could
rotten.
sell those 450 seats on the
Floor.
floor level with no problem.
Right.
And it still was amazing to me.
Oh,
And
it was
everywhere that we
amazing.
traveled, they would sell out the show.
I'll tell you what, if you did it next weekend, I'd be there.
Well, the finale that we did here,
I just cried. I said, oh, Brett's not going to sing Georgia anymore.
we all cried, and but it was
And everybody was in the streets. That's what I liked about y'all after the show. The cast would come dancing down the aisle, and then y'all would all be in the street, and we'd all meet and greet, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, there was no getting
Should we do
by.
a show, Brett?
Yeah, come on.
It was such a wonderful experience.
Yeah, we discussed, before we actually came on the air, we discussed the fact that we started getting a little older and a little older, and we were still enjoying the show as much as we ever did. But we figured that it was probably time that we step back and let people remember it the way it was. Not have people say, well, they should have probably stopped last year. Because we were all getting a little older. I wore a lot more hair and a lot smaller clothes in 1989.
Hey, maybe that's it. We outgrew our costumes. We had to stop.
But it was just, it was family. We
was.
all grew to be a family. We shared births.
Birth,
We shared deaths.
deaths.
A lot.
We
Yep.
shared weddings. We shared all
Divorces.
manner of things that families share with
Yeah.
one another.
Yeah, we really
and,
did.
I have great love for all the people that were involved in the show.
Right, and me too.
And the music, I am sorry, but that was just my era.
Oh,
The 60s music,
Yeah.
they don't make it like that anymore. And I try to tell my grandchildren, this is music, this is not. But it brought back so many memories for people.
I think that was one of the reasons that the show was so successful, and it was with a particular generation.
Exactly.
That it was so successful. And a lot of those people from your generation and from my generation introduced their children to
that music.
through this show. All of my children grew up in Jukebox Saturday night.
Right.
They were always around the cast members. They were always around the show. We celebrate birthdays with my children at many shows. And
I
they
remember
still-
one. You were having a picnic on the stage.
We had picnic on the stage,
Yeah.
and that was for my daughter Lauren's second birthday,
That was-
and Lauren
God.
just turned 30. Sorry, Lauren.
Oh,
She's going to love that. It's just amazing. I saw y'all in Savannah. I saw you at the South Georgia College when Bragg came through,
Yeah,
and different
yeah.
places like this.
Yeah.
Of course, I had connections.
Yeah.
But it never gets old. You know what's pretty much coming next, even if those that leave or whatever, whoop, whoop, we're coming home. And you're just waiting there for it.
We
Yeah, that's true.
we always felt very well received by our audiences, and it's just because the music spoke to them.
That's right.
But in addition to hearing the music, you also had the spectacle of the show.
Yes.
Choreography by Miss Sylvia Chambers.
Yeah.
But from the beginning to the end, that show was just upbeat. Energy was through the roof
Yes.
in every show.
Energy had
I
to
mean,
be.
stop and think about Reggie Roberts.
Yes, exactly.
In his 90s, still dancing across the stage.
Exactly.
And until about a year before we stopped the show, Reggie was still out there.
How about that?
It was incredible. to
He
see.
didn't want us to stop.
No, he did not.
Whoa,
But we were a well-traveled group. We went as far west as Destin, Florida.
Really?
Went as far south as Orlando,
Orlando.
Florida.
Ah,
And as far north as Atlanta.
yes.
We had a great run for those 20.
years. I like that.
Yeah.
But you lost some members along the way too.
We did.
Oh, my goodness.
We did.
And I think
many.
the biggest shocker to me was John Adams.
Yeah. I don't think anybody in the cast knew how sick John really was.
Well, John would never say.
He just
He
got
would
up
never
there and
have said.
performed. Yeah. I know that
You
was
know,
sad.
his heart was giving out on him.
Right?
But when it came time to do I'm a Love Man,
Yeah.
John would get up off of that couch and nobody in the theater would
Could-
know just
How bad?
how bad off he was.
That's right.
Just an incredible performer. The father of the show, might as well.
He
say it that
was.
way.
He was. To me, when I heard about it and that the Bushmen were playing, I thought, oh, John Adams. Because I grew up dancing to them at the rec
Sure,
center and all this in
sure.
town years ago. And that was another touchstone, I guess you could say, for me. And Elvis, Joel Sayer, there'll never be another Elvis.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, Joel Sayer, we
Oh,
had Fred
wow.
Thurman.
And I never knew he could sing.
Fred.
I have known Joel for years, and somebody said, "You know he does Elvis." I said, "Huh?" I said, I can't wait to see this.
It was a
And he
live
one.
wire, always a live wire. Hard to keep up with it.
Yeah, in more ways than one. It was just such, like you said, it was a family, but it was family for everybody, not just the cast. Because when you went in, you became part of it.
Yes.
Well, it's audience participation.
Oh, gosh, yes.
We were on and off the stage. People, in fact, when Brad started
Yeah.
doing Shout,
Shout.
sometimes we'd end up with more people from the audience on stage
than cast.
yeah.
And they used to pull people up to dance, and Clay Lee told me, he said, I'm going to pull you up. I said, no, you're not. He said, yes, I am. Oh, crap, I can't dance. I have no rhythm. But you go anyway, because
Exactly.
that's what you do.
Yeah, it was just part of it. It was,
Yeah.
it was just, the feeling is something that I've not experienced, and now I've done a lot of theater. I've performed professionally a few years, and that show and the energy level is something that I've not experienced anywhere else.
And I think it's a combination of the people, the music, and the involvement that people have with it, because it is a touchstone to your past.
Right. That's true.
Of course, our past is, it speaks for this group in that we're doing an exhibit at the museum for our show. I mean, please.
Yeah.
We're in a museum now.
Somebody wrote on
you
my
know.
Facebook page the other day, oh my God, you've lived long enough to be in a museum.
Oh, how awful.
I tell the kids when they come on field trips, I said, really, an archive is only 50 years old. And one little boy said, Ms. Morgan, are you an archive? I said, yes, yes. So I am so glad y'all came. Anything else you want to add?
No, just thrilled to have the opportunity to see this exhibit going up. I'm glad that we're able to continue to share Jukebox Saturday Night with the community. We also have a lot of other things that will be featured, from whether it be shows at the high school, shows with
Yes,
community
the drama
theater.
department is unreal.
We're just thrilled that we'll be able to share this with the community for a while to come.
And this Saturday, the exhibit opens, and from 10:30 to 12:30, we have a reception with food and beverages, and it's all free. Don't tell the city. It's all free.
That's the best part.
We want everybody to come out and enjoy this opening and this family gathering, because we are going to have such a good time. We're going to be playing some DVDs of past performances. And you can see how far they have changed. One of my friends was a dancer, and she says, I can't believe I danced when I was that fat. I said, well, you weren't flat, you were fluffy. Anything else y'all would like to add?
I have a CD of the last show that we did.
Oh, do you? I might like to borrow that now,
Okay,
Sylvia.
okay.
I really would.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
glad
you,
y'all are
Carol.
here. I have had a ball.
Been
Oh,
wonderful to
we
share.
have too. It's been wonderful. Thank you.
I'll make Brad sing Georgia another time.
I bet he can do it right here.
I bet he could. Thank y'all so much. We'll be right back, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you for returning to the show. We're going to end today with just a little bit more information. Our exhibit that opens this Saturday is Coffee County Entertainment Style. And our focus is Jukebox Saturday Night, of course, and Holiday Beach. But we also cover things like the picnic train and the theaters in Coffee County. Anybody remember the drive-in? And we have many years, the schools would have little fundraisers, and you'd have Jim and Jesse and the Virginia Boys and donkey basketball and womanless weddings. We have some pictures that some folks will cringe when they see them, and we're so happy to have that opportunity to make them cringe. Also, hunting and fishing in Coffee County has always been a great pastime. We'd just like for you to come by and see all the activities that we used as entertainment. Of course, everything at one time revolved around schools and churches, and those things will be entered too. I know every child in Coffee County sometime or other has gone to Vacation Bible School. My mother took us one year to every church if it was a different week, so we'd have plenty to do and occupy